to another midweek session that we like to call COVID Chronicles. Come on, let us know where you're watching from. Come on, don't be afraid to clap your hands and sing with us. Come on, let's go.
overtake us right now, God. We thank you that your love is relentless. We thank you that your love is reckless. We thank you that you continue to chase us down day after day, year after year, moment after moment. So right now, God, we're just ask that you just be in our midst, Lord. Just be in our midst. Come on, we sing. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds still, I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of Now is your fault, still your love fought for me. Yes, it did. You have been so, so good to me. When I found no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds still unfound, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, no. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the
Jesus, we worship you right now. We thank you that in this moment, no matter where we find ourselves, we can gather under the name that is above every other name, and that is the banner over our lives. And God, I thank you right now that there is not a shadow that you will not light up, that you will search in the darkest of places, you will kick down the biggest walls to find us right where we are at. And so, God, we worship you for that. I know I've been there before. Dark places, hard places with big walls up. But it was your love and it was your grace that knocked down those walls. It was your love and your grace that brought light to those dark spaces. And so for that, I'm thankful, God, that you are working in each of our lives in the simplest of ways and in the most profound ways. So we worship you. We worship you from a place of humility. We worship you from a place of gratefulness. We worship you from a place of thanksgiving. We worship you from the place where we don't know what tomorrow brings, but we trust you with it. We worship you from that place tonight. And God, right now, wherever we're joining from, our home, our car, our workplace, our bedroom, our cubicle, our kitchen, our living room, maybe sitting at the dining room table tonight or taking a walk outside or in our backyard, wherever we find ourselves tonight, God, I pray that you would meet us right now, that you would speak to us right now. God, in this moment of worship, I pray that all of our lives, all of our hearts, all of our souls would just once again be refreshed in you, that we would just be lit up by your grace right now, God. So I thank you that you are just doing such significant work in these moments. So we trust you, we look to you, the author and the finisher of our faith. In Jesus' mighty name. Come on, wherever you're joining in from tonight, come on, would you just let out a big old amen? Can we just shout this down for a second? Come on, let your neighborhood, you're watching COVID Chronicles tonight. But what's up, fam? It's so good to have you here joining in with us tonight. I am super excited to be here with the crew. And we've got a new little, thanks to Seth over here, this was a lot of fun. Tonight is just a night, he went full out. So my heart is glad right now in this moment. And it's so good to have you wherever you're joining in from tonight. Let's just look really quick. What do we got going on? I want to say what's up to Amanda Andrews and Karen Stewart, Julie Jackman, Pastor Caitlin, come on, so good to see you. Tim Cordova, and then over here we've got Caitlin, Taro, good to see you. What's up, Pastor Steph? Dejan, love you, my man. Cindy, what's going on? April, Linda, so many people joining us tonight, and it's just so good to have you hanging out with us. We're glad that you could come and be a part of what is going to be a really fun session tonight. Tonight, it's going to be me and Pastor Andrew hanging out. And we're going to have a conversation that I'm really excited about tonight. Is he up here? Hey, what's up, dude? There he is right there. Yeah. So I just can't wait to dig into the content tonight. We got some special things that we want to announce, but it's so good to have you here with us. So I'm going to transition to my chair. Just say what's up and like.
What's up, everybody? Am I on? Come on. Hey, am I there?
Are you there?
Am I there?
Do we got him? Do I got to keep
Yo.
on time? Oh, there he is.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to have you guys on here tonight. Man, so many comments in the chat. I love this. Everybody's just commenting and hanging out, and so good to have you guys. I can't really see because I don't have my glasses on, unfortunately.
We got like a new vibe going on right now.
Yeah, we do.
The nice smooth sounds.
I love it.
I'm just kidding. Oh,
Yes.
man. Okay,
It's gonna be
so
good.
we got lots of good things going on. For those of you who are joining in tonight, maybe you are new with us and you have not been in this space with us before. This is Pastor Andrew. Him and Pastor Caitlin, they pastor our downtown campus. Downtown campus.
Yeah.
Amongst other things, he's also our worship and creative arts pastor.
Come on.
And so he helps with this space as well with this amazing team. And I just want to say, you guys have put in work over these past 8 to 10 weeks. So come on, somebody. I love you
Yes.
guys so much.
The people in the booth as well. We love you guys.
Yes. We have our first caller
Shout
tonight.
out.
Joan from, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
We don't. I just had to say, we got to just do it. Sorry, a lot of fun. We're going to behave. Not
Yeah,
really.
not really.
Not really. Okay, I got to figure out how to do this with my notes right here and all the fun stuff. So anyways, this is what we want to talk about tonight. Before we get into the topic, I want to give you guys a heads up. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I know you because your face showed it a little while ago.
Yeah.
But we're getting to that place with technology where we're over it.
Yep, absolutely. Over it.
Can you talk about your face for a second?
Yeah, the pastoral staff makes fun of me, especially when we hop on Zooms, because
Yes.
I've entered a phase of Zoom fatigue.
Zoom anger.
Yes, and anger as well, because I love being around people, and I just want to be around people and love on people. So I've entered this phase of Zoom fatigue. So if I'm on Zoom and it doesn't seem like I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying seeing you guys' faces, but not through Zoom, okay? So let's just, put that out there.
Yep.
I love you guys. I just can't wait to hug everyone and be around everyone.
But you look like an angry person on Zoom.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
bad.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Jesus is working in my heart.
Jesus take the wheel of his face.
man.
Okay, so with that being the case, though, because there is some Zoom fatigue, there's technology fatigue, there is all the fatigue that's happening with not like being able to gather together and hang out and everything like that. We also feel like we need to change up the vibe a little bit, and this is going to be a transitionary moment for the COVID Chronicles. How many of you guys ready to be out of COVID? I'm ready, and we're going to transition us into something new. And so a couple of things that we want to let you know before we get started. First, you will begin to notice changes in the format of COVID Chronicles over the next few weeks as we prepare some fresh content and creativity for you. We're going to use this space to be able to do that. So we got some fun things that we're planning, exciting things that we're going to be working through. We will be shifting to what we will be calling Midweek Sessions. Okay, these are going to contain shorts, if you will, of content that will range from creative sessions to deep dives into content that we are wanting to drill deeper down into, okay? So for instance, we're going to be starting a brand new series in just a few weeks that is going to touch on some big and important topics, and we're going to use Thursday nights to actually drill deeper into ideas that we are not able to drill into on a Sunday. So Sunday format is more like a message style. We want to be able to go conversational with it on a midweek, and so there's going to be some transitions to how this looks and what it feels like, but I'm super excited about that. Also, you're going to see more panels of discussion with team and others to bring tailored content to topics and ideas that we want to bring to the table and deal with, which I'm really excited about. Like, this is going to be a really fun moment just to be able to work through some things that we otherwise wouldn't get to like on a Sunday morning in that type of format.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a lot of
really
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, we're excited about it. And so you're going to see just a range of different things. I know that this team's especially excited for the creative moments that we're going to get to dial into. And so it's going to be really excited. And Seth is excited
as well. You didn't tell him about the podcast.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell them. Yeah, this is important.
This is the important moment.
This is why we're sitting here with these mics.
Yeah, some of you are wondering.
They're wondering, like, why are we sitting down and talking like this?
Yes. So
this is why.
We're also going to be transitioning some of the content that we're going to be doing is going to move to a podcast format. So tonight we're cheating a little bit to get this podcast going. We're actually taking what you're seeing on screen as well as the vocal moment from this, and it's going to be one of a few podcasts that we need to get plugged in and get people moving on and listening to so that we can transition to iTunes and a podcast that we'll be rolling out soon. You'll get more information on that. We are in the creative moment of it, just getting content built, but we are really excited about that podcast that's going to be coming out. So we're going to have lots of information as we walk into what is being considered as a new normal for our world, for our nation, and for us as a church. And I do want to encourage you, tune in on Sunday. We do have some updates for you and different things for like what it's going to look like moving forward.
Come on.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds
All right.
great.
Awesome. So let's get into it tonight. Psalm 16, verses 5 through 11 is where I want to begin. And this is a really important psalm that we've been looking at, and we're gonna talk about something that I think is gonna be a lot of fun to talk about tonight. But let's start in verse 5. It says this: Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. The boundary lines have fallen for me. Check this out: in pleasant places. I love that. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. All right. Verse 7: I will bless the Lord who counsels me. Even at night when my thoughts trouble me. We're not going to dialogue too much on this verse tonight because I'm actually going to be talking about this weekend in the message as we dive into the last week of our Stay series. So you want to make sure that you tune in this weekend for that. Get to church this weekend. In verse 8, I always let the Lord guide me because he is at my right hand and I will not be shaken. Therefore my heart is glad and my whole being rejoices. There's the word. My body rests securely, for you will not abandon me. All right? And then verse 11, for you will not abandon me to Sheol. You will not allow your faithful one to see decay. You reveal the path of life to me. In your presence is abundant joy, and at your right hand are eternal pleasures. That is a recipe for an awesome life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's what we want to deal with tonight. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to have a lot of fun. We want to look at happiness hacks.
Yeah. Happiness.
Happiness
Everyone
hacks.
needs a little bit of happiness in their life.
Come on.
Yeah, just joy.
Just joy.
Laughter.
We had
Fun.
nachos today.
We did. We had nachos today.
We had
and
nachos
we had
today.
a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Buffalo chicken
It was
sandwich.
Great.
And it brought joy to my life.
It did, yeah.
Yep. And somebody took care of the bill.
Yeah, somebody took care of the bill for
Yep.
us.
So we didn't pay.
Yep.
We ate mass quantities of food.
Yep.
I've been
We
happy
laughed.
all day.
Yeah, it's been great.
We laughed. It was good. So
Happiness hacks.
So we've talked about this before, but happiness and joy are two different things, and we understand that. But just for the sake of having two H's in the title, I had to go with happiness hacks. Okay, you can't say joy hacks. You had to go with that. Come on, let's be real. If you know me, that like there's a reason behind that. So just
Wording
kind of
is
equate
everything.
the two. It's happiness hacks tonight.
Yep.
All right, and that's what we want to look at as we take a little bit of time to work through this. So here's the first, and we're gonna just talk about it. We're
Yeah.
gonna rap on it.
Yep.
He's gonna interrupt me.
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna interrupt him
All day long.
all day long.
Yep, let's do it. Go ahead.
Caller number 2. Okay.
Oh, man. It's going to be great.
Happiness hacks. Here we go. Here's the first one. I have to look for the levity in life.
Yeah.
On our quest to be full of joy, we want to look at like different realities that we face and how we do this. And the first happiness hack that I found personally for my life is I have to look for the levity of life. That means I have to find the things that are funny
Yep.
when what I'm facing is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Come on.
Like, how many of you know what I'm talking about?
So good.
And I don't know if you would agree with me on this one, but we take things way too serious.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We take like way too serious. I know for many people we've been taking this COVID like we should. There's a lot of seriousness in this moment, but we've got to find the levity in life at times. We
Right.
got to find the things that are humorous, even when it's occasionally dark, right? And
Like our world currently.
yeah, like our
Yeah,
world
it's-
currently.
yeah.
So like when I'm in a hard place,
Yeah.
especially people that know me really well, I have a tendency to goof off a lot. How many of you know like what I'm talking about? So like for me, when stress is thick, right? When it's getting like hard, I have a tendency to start to goof off a lot. But the principle behind that is this: is if I want to rest in the joy of the Lord,
Yeah.
I gotta look for the funny things sometimes.
Come on. Come on.
Like I've gotta things have
You
to
have
be
to.
funny sometimes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like I'm gonna be really honest with you right now. I will occasionally just make fun of somebody in my head as I see them walking by, just so I can find the levity in life at times. Like, can we just be real in church tonight? Like, sorry. Some of you
Said
are
it from
wondering
the
right now-
pastor. The lead pastor of the well makes fun of you when you walk by, just so you guys know.
Just
it's
so
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Typically, it's
He's
Andrew.
laughing.
But
Oh, man.
so we gotta look for the levity in life. We gotta
Yeah.
look for the funny things that are there. And I think, and this is the important thing to note on this, is that you do have to search for it,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Otherwise, you will get bogged down
Yep.
with all the hard
Yep.
of life. Like you've got to search for joy at times, right? And you've got to search for the things that are going to bring joy. Like we just have to laugh. Today in our staff meetings, we spent a lot of time
Yeah.
laughing because like here's the truth, right? Is that there's a lot of hard stuff right now.
Yep.
We're facing a ton of hard stuff right
Yep,
now.
absolutely.
And if you're going to face hard stuff, I think you got to try to laugh your way through it a little bit.
Yep.
So like what are some of the things, like how do you find levity? Like what do you look for?
Oh, I jump up and down and I dance all the time. So
Sure.
that's why I find
That's
levity.
his levity in life. He tries to get me to film myself dancing so that he can
Who
laugh
wants to
at
see
me.
in the comment section right now?
No,
Who wants to see Pastor Jason, aka Little Frosty, do a rap/dance video? I think so. I think we should do that. That should be on the doc.
Guys, this
Everybody has to laugh. You laugh at everybody else. so
I
you have
did
to
laugh at
you.
everybody. He tried to get me do a TikTok.
Yeah. It's great.
Guys, I spent an hour trying to figure out how to do the TikTok, and then I threw my phone at the wall
gosh.
because I couldn't figure out how to TikTok. Is that
the best.
is that do the TikTok?
I don't know if that's accurate. but
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's
Sir,
great.
So here's the first happiness hack is I have to look for the levity in life. Hey, some of you need to make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
That'll preach.
Yeah. Come on.
Right? We got to make fun of ourselves. I spend a lot of time making fun of myself.
Yeah.
I'm a dork.
Yeah.
Like just flat out, I'm goofy. My wife makes fun of me all the time. It's finding the levity in life to break the tension of hard. All right, number 2, second happiness
Number
hack.
2, you guys ready in the comment section? Everybody put number 2. Number 2 is this: spirituality is not always serious.
Come on.
Spirituality is not always serious. For me, I think a lot of times we can over-spiritualize life and we can over-spiritualize our journey. And I'm all for prayer and I'm all for reading the Word of God. But let me just be honest. Can I be truthful with all of you today?
Yep.
I don't always read my Bible every single day. Shocker. Shocker.
You're a bad person. No, I'm just.
I don't read my Bible every single day, and I find that we have to find joy in a lot of moments. We have to find happiness, but don't over-spiritualize life. And sometimes for me, it's like I find the happiness in moments where I'm just playing with my kids. I find joy. I find just the moments of like of just God just in the middle of my situation when I'm truly happy and I don't over-spiritualize life.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of times, if we're being honest, like even in this moment, we can even treat COVID, our life, and everything's so serious and so dark and so heavy and it's so weighty, you know. And so we want to go and we want to just get on our knees and pray for 5 hours and say, Lord, I don't know how to homeschool my kids, and you want to be in your room for 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us are at that level, but I think if we can find the joy and the happiness and not over spiritualizing everything, like find joy in little moments, laugh, like. Relax. When I go home now, like I think in this moment of COVID for me, it's really helped me to see what truly matters, what really truly matters. And for me, it's like, man, I don't need all these other things. Yeah, do I want to go travel? Absolutely. Right. Do I want to go to Hawaii and be on a beach right now?
Amen.
Absolutely. Will I do that eventually? Absolutely. But for me, it's like going home and seeing my wife and my kids and seeing them laugh and actually watching them grow up because time has slowed down.
Yeah.
And I think I found so many happy moments in those times. And so for us, we can't choose to over-spiritualize everything.
Right.
Like, it's not always serious with God. Like, laugh a little bit. Have joy in your home. Have happiness with your kids. Find joy in the little things. Find joy that you can still go outside and the fresh air is there. Like, find joy in every single moment.
Right.
I think that's important.
So how do you work through this though, like on a practical level? Like what are you looking at when you say like, okay, don't, like spirituality is not always serious.
Yeah.
There's this idea, the backdrop to it is that you can still be spiritual, but it doesn't have to be serious. Like what are some of the things that you would say, like this is actually very spiritual to me, this is very faith-filled for me, but you would look at the behavior or you would look at the reality of it and you go, well, that doesn't seem like it's super serious, so we would lose ourselves in the idea of it. You know, do you get what I'm saying by that?
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
what would be something that you would say, like this is something that's actually very spiritual to me, but if you looked at it first glance, you'd be like, that doesn't look spiritual at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me personally, on my journey, if you guys know me, I'm a pastor and I dance as well.
Yep.
And so for me, dancing is something that it may not look super spiritual. Like if you've ever been to our shows, it's not like I'm like dancing to worship music. Right? Like it's not like I'm doing that. But for me, it's a process with God, and I allow him to come in, and because it makes me happy, God is in it. Because he's given me the gift to do it. Like he's given me the ability to do it. So for me, it's about finding the journey of life and navigating the journey and being joyful in the moments what God has gifted you with.
Right.
And so I think that's really, for me, it's like, I don't over-spiritualize dance.
Right.
Like, we're dancing to hip-hop music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a shocker.
Let's just be honest.
Oh, you know you love you some hip-hop. We'll have to talk about that later on in life. But seriously, I feel like dance for me is like one of those things that I find joy and happiness in, but I don't over-spiritualize it. And I make it like, hey, this is what it is. Like, this is the journey that God has me on, so I'm going to find happiness in this thing because he's gifted me with this ability to do it. And so if he's gifted me with the ability to do it, I believe that he's given me that so I can have happiness and joy.
That's good. Okay, so let's talk about the other thing that our wives don't like that we do. Okay, so this is another case in point
I know you're gonna talk about.
of where we go with like spirituality is not always serious, but this is actually a really big deal for us. Like, and we miss this right now.
Oh yeah.
Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
Yeah.
We were gonna do a whole segment of us just shopping online together.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many of you guys would love to see that?
Like
just shopping online, just all of us just shopping for shoes. It's great.
So this is actually a very real thing though. Like this actually brings great joy to our lives when we go together. Now we have a budget, and our wives are a part of this budget making process. Shout out to our wives right now. They're watching right now. They're shaking their heads with disdain. I know it. I can see my wife's face right now. Love you, baby. Anyways, we do this retail therapy though, where we actually get to spend time with one another. And in this relation, it's actually like a very communion-oriented moment.
Absolutely.
We ain't breaking bread. We're breaking dollar bills.
Come on.
Like that's
Come
a whole
on, somebody.
nother.
Yeah!
Anyways.
Oh, man.
So, but it's actually like it's a spiritual moment
Yeah.
because it's refreshing and
Yep.
it brings joy and we laugh and like there's this spirit of unity that takes place that actually encourages us.
Oh, absolutely.
And we miss it a lot right now.
Yep, absolutely, because we haven't hung out as much.
Right.
We usually go shopping, we hang out, we laugh. It's
Yep.
That's why today was so good, I think, for us, is because we got the chance just to go and eat lunch and,
Yep.
and just have fun and just see each other. And that's what I really believe, that you can't over-spiritualize life. Like, God
Yeah.
is in the moments when we're just hanging
It's
out.
good, bud.
And when we're chilling and we're shopping and whatever we're doing, enjoying life, enjoying each other, God is in those moments.
Yep.
And I think sometimes we choose to over-spiritualize life. So it's not about being so serious. Like, spirituality is not so serious. Like,
Nope.
laugh a little bit, go shop, go spend some dollars, like, have fun in life.
As long as it's in your budget.
As long as it's in your budget. Don't go
Yeah.
in debt. Yeah. But anyways, no, that's a really good example, because I think that has helped a lot just in my journey
Yeah.
with you and I. Like, our relationship
Yep.
has gotten better, and we've gotten deeper in moments. We've had great conversations while shopping. There's so many things that happen in those moments.
Like he'll help me pick out a shirt. And like that's between two dudes.
Yeah.
Like let's just be honest. That's when it gets deep.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when you're
We're
like
picking out each other's clothes.
that's not your color. You look
You're
very
white.
pale.
Yeah, you're white.
You're white.
You can't wear every color.
I can't wear
You
every
can't wear the
color.
neons like I wear the neons.
You can wear every color.
Yeah, I can wear neons.
I know.
Yeah, you can't.
That's a whole different segment of podcast. Okay, we'll
Oh man.
we'll talk about the
I can
light.
wear pastels. You can't.
Guys, we were told
okay.
tonight they were afraid of this white table because of me. So let's just be truthful about that. Okay, number 3. Here's the third happiness hack. Okay, third happiness hack. This one's really important. We have to manage our margin.
Come on. Yeah.
Okay, the reason that things tend to weigh so much is because we're already trying to carry everything else. Think about that statement. Okay. The reason that things tend to weigh so, have you ever met the person, or maybe like you are that person, where even the smallest of things weighs 55,000 pounds? The reason that something small weighs so much is because you're already trying to carry everything else. Right? So space creates the place for joy. For many of us, the reason that we don't experience the joy of the Lord is because we haven't created space for it, because we're trying to carry everything that He said He would carry.
Wow. Wow.
And even today, we mixed things up because there was margin in our lives, right? We were able to get out because there was margin in our life. We were able to go grab lunch, have fun, joke around because we made some margin in our lives. Like today, I worked extra hard last night and the day before to get ahead of some things so that today I could break away a little bit and just enjoy life, enjoy fellowship, enjoy engagement. And because of margin, all of a sudden, I was able to experience that joy. Because here's the truth. If I wouldn't have made that margin, if you wouldn't have made that margin, we wouldn't have experienced the joy that we experienced today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So for many of us, once again, it's not this super spiritual thing. It's like you've got to make margin in our lives. And let's be very real about this. The reason that I had margin today is because I worked hard yesterday.
Wow. Yeah.
And some of us want to avoid that. Like one begets the other. Sometimes you got to work just a little bit harder in order to have the margin the next day. And that's what we had today. So like, I'll be honest with you. I was up till almost midnight last night working.
Wow.
Typing away, buzzing away at things and everything like that. And we've got young kids. They're getting up early. Our eyes are like, ah, right?
Yeah.
But today I wasn't tired, right? I was actually filled up today.
Come on.
And now tonight we're coming into this moment where we're just geeked. We're excited because we got to have some joy.
Yeah. We literally came up with this.
Yeah, this is last minute.
An hour ago. Like that's how like urgent this was, because we felt like people needed to have happiness and joy in their lives. Just from our conversation and us hanging out, we wanted to share that with you. You know, we had a whole different agenda for tonight. But it was like, no, we're happy. Let's just have fun. You know, like let's
talk
joy.
nonsense.
You know, this joy is like contagious. Like happiness is contagious. So just know that as well. Like it's about being contagious. Like what you carry is contagious. Like
it's good.
It's about when you walk into a room.
Well, we're in
and
COVID
bring
right now.
joy.
Be careful with that statement. So.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Wear a mask, everyone. Wear a mask. But seriously, like I think it's so awesome, because us being able to work hard and do those different things created space for us to enjoy today. And then now we're sitting here talking about happiness because we're so happy that it's contagious for you to be happy, and we want you to be happy in your homes, right?
Yep.
So I think it's just it's both and. It's like, okay, like how can we get people to see? How can we get people to look past what's happening right in front of them?
Yeah, good, bud. Yep.
and see, man, like it's so much bigger than what's in front of us. Like, I know that things are happening in our lives. I know that trials are happening on our doorstep. Things are happening in your family. Things are happening maybe in your marriage. Things are happening with your friends, whatever it is. But like, find joy and happiness in those moments. And create those moments. Like, you can create those moments. Like, nobody's going to create happiness for you. And I think that's the reality. I think we're trying to get other people and other things and all those different things in life to create happiness for us, but nothing can create happiness for yourself. You have to internally create happiness and bring happiness everywhere you go.
That's so good. Your wife gave rolling eye emojis
Oh my gosh.
to retail therapy.
Oh
I
my
told
gosh.
you guys. I
Babe.
told you this is a real thing.
Babe, it's okay. It's okay. I'm saving. We haven't done it in months. So we're fine.
We're going to be able to
we have
go
big
a
margin.
big margin right now.
I love it.
Let's talk about this because, so you're creative.
And
we work closely together in a lot of this stuff. And I wouldn't necessarily call myself a creative person, but there's been a lot of creativity that's come out over this last little while.
Absolutely.
I would say this, especially for creative people out there, I would say that the greatest creativity you will ever experience comes when margin is created.
Wow.
So for many of us, we're trying to be creative, think creatively. Well, create margin first, and you'll be amazed how creativity actually comes out of that. So a lot of us are trying to think of the idea. Don't think of the idea. Just create margin, and the idea comes. I think that's the thing that a lot of us are missing is the space.
Oh, absolutely.
The space needed. And I don't know about you, but in this moment that we've been in, these COVID chronicles that we've been in, it feels like the space is caved in on us. And so I've had to fight for margin in my life. I've had to fight for margin in almost every single area of our lives. Like Erica and I, my wife and I were talking about the other night, like we're cooped up in the house together. We've been going through all this, but there's been moments in these past 8 to 10 weeks that we've actually felt more distant from each other.
Wow.
Because days are running together, weeks are running together right now, and we haven't been always intentional in these moments about creating the margin necessary. So we had to connect. We have to like work hard to build the margin to connect to each other.
Wow.
And I think that's the same way it is for joy. The only place that you're going to find joy, the only place that you're going to find creativity is when you create margin. Number 4.
Number 4 is this: live in the moment.
Come on.
Live in the moment. How many of you guys have heard the term FOMO before? Fear of missing out. Like, everybody's fear of missing out. But now you haven't missed out on anything because nothing's happening. Have you noticed that? It's like, we're not missing out on anything. Nothing's happening.
True.
Things are being canceled. Weddings are being. I was supposed to be in a wedding this weekend. Got canceled because of COVID. Like, we have this fear of always missing out on life.
Wow.
Missing out on adventures. Missing out on travels. Missing out with friends. Missing out with everything. And I think we have to choose to live in the moment. I wrote this down. Happiness allows us to see the future while being present in the moment. Happiness allows us to see the future while being present in the moment. What do I mean by that? Like, today was a prime example. Like, our conversation, like, we started even like dreaming up of podcasts and dreaming up of the future and creatively thinking, and all these different things came from that moment of happiness. Just like you were saying, like, it creates just a margin that we can just dream in and learn from. So like, we're not missing out. If I've learned anything in this season, is that I'm not missing out on anything.
So good. It's very true.
I have not missed out on anything. In fact, I've created things that I wanted to see happen. You know, and I think in this moment, if you can just allow yourself to say, hey, man, like, God has given me this moment, this season to create. Like, he pushed back everything aside and it's like, no, this is your and I moment. And yes, it is a struggle sometimes because you are dealing with life and you're dealing with the pressures of life. Maybe you lost your job and all these different things. But I think if we can get to the root of it and say, man, I don't have fear of missing out on anything. If everything caves, everything goes, we've noticed it. We've seen it. We're living in it today. If everything just goes away, like, my happiness is rooted in him. Like, it's so firmly rooted in him. I don't have fear of missing out on adventures, weddings, all those things. Are those sad moments? Absolutely. Like, would I love to be in a different state right now, enjoying my friends and celebrating them? Absolutely. But the reality is, I've learned so much in this moment to live in the moment. Like, just seize the day. Like, get up and be happy. Like, you have the choice to carry happiness into every sphere of your life.
Well, and here's the cool part about it. I think that like speaks to an issue that like pre-COVID, a lot of people were dealing with, which it was comparison. And some of the things that we compare ourselves to, like it's not just comparison to what a person looks like or what I look like or what they have or what they don't have. For a lot of us, we'd get on social media, for instance, and the FOMO would come because we were like missing out on what they were doing.
Right.
The thing is that no one has FOMO right now because we all in the same place, in a home, right?
Wow.
Like, no, you don't FOMO that. Like, you're like,
I want to get out of this.
I want to get out of this home, right? So everybody's like trying to, in the same space, which is actually kind of interesting because your engagement with social media, your engagement with people changed. All of a sudden. And I hope that we can remember. I think this is actually a really important moment. I hope that we can remember this when things go to the new normal, whatever that looks like. That we don't go back to like, now I'm gonna envy what everybody else is doing, or I'm missing out on all the things that all these other people are doing, because look, we're all in the same boat now. We're all taking selfies from our kitchen.
Wow. Light rings. Everybody has a light ring.
Everybody has, like, so I'm not missing out on anything right now. I don't think I've gone like, oh man, I wish I could be sitting in that kitchen because they have a better, like, what? No, that's stupid, right? Like, we're not there anymore. The question is do we go back to that reality?
And I think you said something profound there. When we're missing out, when we feel like we're missing out on other people and like missing out on things, we're really missing out on the call of God on our lives. I just got that, like, if we're like saying, hey, I have a fear of missing that, I'm missing out on this and this and this. You looking at somebody else, in turn, you're missing what God has for you. And I think even in this season.
In that moment.
In that moment, like, what does God have for you in that moment? Like, like that has to be something that's in our minds and in our hearts. Like, every single day. Like, what does God have for me? Like, I don't have to look at and compare my life to everybody else.
So great.
Like, right now, like, and that's what I want to come out of this season with. Like, even when everything goes back to the new normal, whatever that may look like, like, I don't want to compare myself to anybody else. I want to see what God has for me in the moment. And, like, I want to live out this moment. Because I have a God-fulfilled destiny that He has called me to do. And if I'm too busy looking at everybody else and finding happiness in what they're doing, then I'm missing out on the happiness that God has for me.
That's so great. All right, here's the last one. We're going to spend a few minutes on this one, and then we're going to close down another week of COVID Chronicles.
Come on.
As we start to shift to new things. Has this helped? Has this been like something? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Hopefully online, let us know if this is helping you out tonight. And I do want to say this. Make sure that if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube and like us on Facebook and check us out on Instagram. Make sure that you're following all those things, especially with the well, because so much new information and so many new things are going to be coming out that we're really, really excited about. So this is going to be a fun little season that we're getting ready to move into. All right, so here's the fifth one, the fifth happiness hack that we're going to look at. And I think this one's really, really important. Well, they're all really important, have been important. But this one, I think, kind of buttons it all up. We have to allow the mundane to be special. We have to allow the mundane to be special.
Come on.
Some of us have way too high of expectations for everything. And I think this is especially true when it comes to relationships, okay? So if we draft into relationships, we want it to be at 10 all the time, but the reality is that there are many days that it's a solid 4.
Wow. That'll preach.
Right? And we want it to be at 10 all the time. Like, and listen, I'm guilty of that because I want it to be like, hype all the time. And I've had to actually figure out, like, personally, because it's my personality. I don't want it to be like, I want everything to be hype. I want everything to be happy. I want everything to be And it actually is taxing on your soul when you have an expectation of everything being at 10 all the time. And I'll tell you this, just like a personal hack, it's taxing on everybody else as well. It's taxing on your relationship. It's taxing on your friends. It's taxing on those around you that are in the same space as you. You wear them out. Like, that's just like, that's even for me. I can do that. So I've had to learn how to adjust my expectations and actually find beauty in the mundane.
Come on.
To find the special stuff in really the average stuff, the special sauce in the boring stuff, right? Not everything has to be spectacular in order to be special.
Wow.
Somebody needs to hear that tonight. Not everything, like, let's talk about this, for instance, our relationship with God.
Come on.
I just want you to, like, hear that comment, draft that into our relationship with God for a moment. Not everything has to be spectacular in order to be special. And I got to tell you, like, truthfully, that's what I'm learning in this moment. We have empty rooms. I'm talking to a camera right now. Like, we got a few of these guys on stage so that we have people to interact with.
Yep.
But I'm not going to lie. Like, do I miss those days? Do I miss the days that we were all gathered together in their spectacular moments?
Yep.
Yeah. But guess what? When you have to find the when everything has to be spectacular, it's a law of diminishing returns.
Wow.
It's like a hit on some sort of drug where I need something stronger and I need something stronger. And when it doesn't add up to the strength that I need it to be, I actually devalue the moment. Think about the implications that has on your relationships. Think about the implications that has on your relationship with God. Because there are so many days that you're going to find yourself in a desert moment and you're like, wait a second, I'm going to give up on my relationship with God because it's not meeting my expectation of glory and awesomeness and fireworks and boom, bang, bang, boom. Right? Like, that's what we want it to be all the time. And we can actually find beauty and things can be special in ordinary moments. And I think this is probably, in this COVID moment, this is probably one of the greatest lessons that I've learned is how to see, like, man, in difficult moments, in hard moments, in boring moments, in isolated moments, in average moments, I can actually find the special. I can find the special things in that, and it actually brings me joy. We have to allow the mundane to be special.
Yep.
I don't know if you've experienced anything like that before or in this moment.
Oh, absolutely. Like I just said earlier, I think even just coming home to my family more in this season and seeing them more in this season, like, I just found, like, even those moments to be so beautiful.
Yeah.
And, like, wow, like, what time, like, time flies by so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm actually grateful that it's kind of slowed things down. Like, in essence, we've been running and going and all of that, but at the end of the day, it's slowed things down.
Right.
Things have been a little bit more steady.
Yeah.
Like, it's been, I've been more personal, like, in my relationships with just my friends, my family, my daughter, my son, like, all those different things. So for me, it's been just beautiful to see that.
good.
Like, it's been beautiful.
Yep.
Like, every single moment, I'm like, every single time I get to go home and be with my kids and all these different things and be crammed up in our house.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like, and they're running around and my house is chaotic and all these different things, toys everywhere. Last night, my daughter, let me just tell the story real quick.
Yeah.
Last night, my daughter Sylvie, she's 2.5 years old. Chris and Courtney were over for dinner, and I kid you not, they witnessed it, so I'm not lying. I didn't make this up. She literally knows how to climb out of her crib right now.
Uh-huh.
And so we're trying to put them to bed. Both of them, stay in the same room. We put them to bed probably like 3 times. She kept climbing out of the bed. Then she throws all the toys and everything into brother's crib and just gets in and out, gets in and out. And even in that moment, like, if I would have been working, and I would have been, like, just frantic and all that, I would have treated it totally different.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, okay, well, this is the stage she's in.
Right.
Like, was it a little bit frustrating getting her in and out of her crib and, like, doing all that? Absolutely, because I'm like, just stay in your crib. Like, go to bed. It's better for you to go to bed right now. But even in that moment, I found, like, wow, like, time has slowed down.
It's good.
And I realized what stage she's in.
Yep.
Like, she wants to be with mom and dad. She wants to cuddle. She wants to love on us and all these different things. And if I was running around and being so busy with life and all these different things, I would have just been mad and frustrated. But last night I was kind of laughing at it because I'm like, this is the stage she's in. Like, although I don't want her to do that for the rest of her life, I still need to sleep. But in that moment, I was like, okay, wow, like, I'm going to choose to, like, love on this moment. And we let them stay up for an extra 30 minutes. Like, that's all they needed, and they went back to sleep. But, like, I think those moments are so beautiful, and I think that we can capitalize on those moments. That moment was a moment of happiness for me.
And I think this is, and let's end it on this. This is a great thought, and I think it drafts into this reality is that one of the things that I'm acutely aware of is that everybody wants to get back to normal.
Right.
But here's the problem. Once you get back to normal, we'll hate normal.
Yep. My wife says normal is a setting on a dryer.
That'll tweet.
Yeah, it'll tweet. Tweet that. Put that in the comment section. Normal is a setting on a dryer.
Uh-huh. It's
Life
good.
is not normal.
No.
It's never been normal.
But the problem was that before we got into this moment, we were struggling with normal.
Right.
We were struggling with what was.
Wow.
Here's my fear when we all, like, right now I hear from a lot of people, like, I can't wait to get back to church. I can't wait to get back. Well, like, where were you pre-COVID?
Right.
Because for some of us, our arms were already crossed then.
Wow. That's so good.
So we can get to this place where we're desiring normal, then we get back to normal, and we despise normal.
Right.
That's an interesting journey that we take,
Wow.
is that we end up despising the thing that we are desiring.
Wow.
And so we've got to allow the mundane to be special. What if we can flip it and start looking at every single moment? It doesn't matter like what it is and what it looks like. Every single moment is special. And I'm telling you right now, that'll transform the way that we do life. It'll transform the way that we do faith.
Yep.
It'll transform the way that we do relationship.
Absolutely.
It'll transform the way that we do everything
Absolutely.
that we face.
Yep.
And so these are the happiness hacks.
Happiness hacks.
Happiness hacks.
So good.
It's really joy we're after.
Yep.
Right? It's
Yep.
really joy that we're trying to rest in, but we just needed 2 H's.
Yep. Absolutely. Happiness hacks.
So just remember it.
Joy.
It's really joy.
Yep.
But let it be a happiness hack. Come on, let's pray. Jesus, we love you. We thank you for this time. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for another opportunity just to gaze into your word and allow it to change who we are, allow it to do its good work in our lives. And so we love you. We thank you for this time. And I just pray that everything that's been said tonight, everything that's been spoken to tonight would resonate at a level that would bring newness to our lives. And so we're thankful for your grace. We're thankful for your mercy in our lives. And I just pray that this week, for the remainder of this week, that you would give us the eyes to see and the ears to hear what it is that you want us to see and to hear. We love you. We thank you. And we celebrate what you are doing even in this moment. In Jesus' mighty name. Come on, and everybody online shouted.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us tonight for another COVID Chronicles moment. We'll see you Sunday morning, 10 a.m.
Come on.
Come on, somebody. It's
Love
going to
you
be an
guys.
amazing morning. God bless you. We'll see you later.
Hey, what's up, Well Fam? I hope that you've enjoyed this message so far. If so, there's a few things that we want you to do. First, subscribe. We have a lot of new content coming your way this year. Second, share this video with friends and family that you know would be impacted by it. And last, if you would like to partner with the mission of the Well and what God is doing here in Salt Lake City, you can give by using the link below.